Hi there, thanks for tuning in again. Since the third year, which ended with my last video, was not that successful, at least not as much as I hoped, and if I'm honest with myself, the second year was also not that successful. I'm curious to see what the fourth year, which will start with this video, will have in store for me. And if you want to learn what happened to me in June, then stay with me. And I say now, as usual, let's just get started, okay? As you can see, it's already a little bit darker than usual. It's a little bit late, but we should still have like an hour or 1.5 hours of sunlight, so it should be fine, hopefully. And it's also a little bit windy, so hopefully it will not be too disturbing, but I would say let's get just to it. And first off, to get it out of the way, a quick update on work life. And as I told you in previous videos, work was quite heavy over the last few months and also a little bit boring at the same time, because the projects I had were not really aimed at me being creative at all. A little bit here and there for sure, but overall it was mainly update work here and there and stuff like that. So it wasn't that inspiring, but yeah, I at least am now almost done with that. So most of the stuff is finished, and I can hope for other projects that are hopefully a little bit more interesting to me. And of course, as usual, this time it's not a helicopter, this time it's an ambulance in the background that you can hear, but we will just power through. So it's even getting louder now. So on top of that though, on top of all those projects that were not that very motivating, I also had some situations that made me doubt if I'm still at the right place and in the right job, because I received some feedback, some from my manager and some from other places where I was not sure if I'm actually as good at my job as I thought, because there was something somewhere. So my manager was questioning my visual composition skills a little bit. And I was questioning my analysis and stakeholder management skills because of another training that was weirdly going into a strange direction. So that was all going on. So that kicked off like a little spiral in my head of asking myself, is that still what I want to do? Is it still something I'm good at? Should I leave work? Should I change my position? Should I do something differently? Something that from time to time pops up in my head, but this time it was not triggered by me being not happy with what I'm doing and wanting to work on videos or stuff like that as an alternative. This time it was really me just doubting if I'm actually good at what I am doing for years now. And of course I talked with my manager, and she, as expected, didn't mean it as harsh as I received it, which was clear to me as well. But you know how it is, you overreact a lot when you get feedback. That I'm actually quite good with receiving feedback, I would say, after all these years at work, but that was really going into the substance of my main skills. And I started to doubt those. That was the thing that really threw me off. And I'm through that phase now. I'm again on track. I know that it wasn't meant as harsh as she said. I also know that there were some misunderstandings in other regards, and also I think maybe I just half-assed it a little bit here and there because these projects weren't that inspiring. So it's a combination, I guess, of all of that. And with that being said, I think I'm back on track work-wise. Then I would say let's look into my last 5 weeks since the last video, what happened there. And I tried to keep it short because not that much happened, but I mean, I said the same thing in the German video I just filmed, and I ended up being over 20 minutes long, so I will try to make this one shorter, but let's see how it works. So first week I was at IKEA, not the whole week, just at the start of it, because I want to do some home improvement, and I got some things to at least get my flat a little bit nicer and to do some stuff there. Most of the stuff I still haven't done. Some of it I just done recently in the last week or so, but you know how it is. At least that was the aim, to get something done, and I've got some stuff done, which is good. So that's that. And my hair is flying everywhere. And that same week I was also invited again by my friend Alex and Chrissy. So they had a get together, and on the way there, because in the last video I told you that I will likely shave my beard, shorten it, or maybe get rid of it completely and go back to my goatee like I had for years. So I already did that at the start of last month, and I wanted to show that off in a short clip. So I wanted to film the introduction for this video already back then, but it was so windy that was not an option. And if you want to see how that turned out, here's a short clip.
Hallo, schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid. Ich teste heute mal, wie gut mein Windfilter ist, und sage willkommen zu Jahr 4 meiner Reise zurück zu einem gesünderen Gewicht.
Okay, then the second week I realized that I wasn't walking as much as I did the last few years. So I was getting out and about, and I was at the cemetery again. I was at my father's grave, and I took the opportunity to do some cleanup work there, because there was some dried leaves lying around on the artificial flowers we have put in there. And also there was a lot of spider webs, cobwebs and stuff like that I just wanted to clean off. I had a little brush, like a kitchen brush, that I bought for that occasion. And I was just getting to it, and at the end of it I looked at the brush, and there was a little spider hanging on it, and I was just putting it to the side, and then I took a photo of it, because I wanted to identify what kind of spider that was. And the app, and I'm not 100% sure that the app is accurate, but it was quite accurate in the past when I identified other animals, other bugs and spiders. It told me it was a brown reclusive, which would really surprise me, because they are supposedly quite rare in Germany, but they are coming in a little bit. And as you might know, the brown reclusive is one of the 2 spiders in Germany that are actually the most poisonous. This one and the Nosferatu spider. I think it's still not deadly, at least not in every case. And in some cases you just need to go to the doctor quickly if there is something happening in your body after the bite, but usually nothing happens at all. But still, it was a little bit concerning to see that this might actually be something that is around there. But again, I'm not sure that this is actually true, but maybe you can tell me. Here it is. But that brings me to week number 3, in which I made a discovery that was a little bit troublesome, because you might know and might remember from my past videos that I have a little spider on my bathroom windowsill, which I let stay there because she is, and I say she because now I know it's a she is catching everything that is coming in there. So all the small flies and bugs that usually come through my window from the bushes outside, she is catching. So I'm very happy that she is there, even though I am quite, at least I was quite arachnophobic in my youth, up to my late 20s actually. And the last few decades I was really working hard on getting rid of that. So I still don't want to have a spider on me, but I'm now at a point where I can appreciate them being in a corner. I mean, I never was not appreciating them, I was never killing them, but I was always getting rid of them by just having someone or trying myself to carry them out. So in the last few years, of course, since I in the last decade, since I live alone, I have to do it myself, so that is helpful. But also having that spider on the windowsill, seeing it each day, is also helpful to just get rid of that irrational fear. But maybe more on that in a separate video in the future. What I wanted to say is I discovered that that spider has created a little cocoon where, of course, small spiders might be hatching out of in the near future. And I was procrastinating dealing with it because I didn't know what to do if I just removed the spider and the cocoon completely, just bring them outside and that's the end of it. Or if I try to carefully remove the cocoon and let the spider be there. I wasn't sure what to do, so I procrastinated, and that's it for now for week 3. So I didn't do anything else in week 3 with that. Then week 4 I started to actually do more walking, which is good. So I had a lot of more steps than the previous weeks. I even was outside on last Friday with my sister. We were walking a lot and talking. It was a nice time out. I actually realized after a while that when we came back it was over 10,000 steps, which it didn't feel like that, which is the usual aim you should have on a daily basis, I guess. But if you have not walked that much in quite a while, 10,000 steps is a pretty good number to reconnect with. So that was good. But yeah, so I tried to walk more, but I also had a big realization in that last week. So in the 4th week. So it's the week before last. And that realization was that I let myself go a little bit. Like I said, the beard was quite bushy, and I think now that I'm shortened it looks quite clean, and I can live with that, so I don't feel bad about it. But in between it looks really, really bushy and not really clean, a little bit unkempt. So I guess I let myself go a little bit. Same reason, I guess, I didn't concentrate over the last few months on losing weight as much as I should. So there's something on the back of my mind, I guess, that kept me from really doing the stuff I had to do to really keep with it and to really lose weight. And I guess the main reason is that I got bogged down mentally on a subconscious level by everything that was happening around the world. And on a conscious level, I was aware of that, but on an unconscious level, it kept me mentally busy more than I was realizing. So basically, I worried what was going on in the world regarding the wars that are going on. I'm worrying about the fact that civilization seems to change, and there is a movement to the right that is a little bit scary, even here in Germany again, which fortunately here is for now under control, because it is not a winner-takes-all situation when it comes to elections. But what's going on in the US is scary. So all that stuff in the daily news and in the late night talk shows of Kimmel and Myers and Colbert, that really had an impact on me more than I was aware. Like I said, I was completely aware that the situation is weird and crazy and dire on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level it was influencing me. I was letting go of creating videos for my review channel. Usually I have a video up each week. I haven't done anything for that channel in 6 or 7 weeks. So I was blaming it on the weather, on being tired, on being overworked, on stuff like that. And like I needed a breather from all that stuff and just relax in the evenings watching TV, and that's all I wanted to do. But I come to the realization that watching all those shows, watching the news and everything like that, keeping informed of all the craziness that is going on, really took a toll on me. And now that I know that, I hope I can get out of that spiral. Of course, I don't want to not watch any news anymore or anything in that regards, because even these late night talk shows, they are making easy fun of it. So they are not making easy fun of it. They make it easier by making fun of it. But still, they highlight all the craziness, and you are being reminded of it. So maybe I need to get a little bit of a detox from that. Like I said, I still need to watch the news though, because I need to stay informed what's going on in the world. But maybe I should just reduce the amount I take in, because like I said, it really has a toll on me, which I guess is true for everyone. So it's not something special. It is just for me the fact that is not special but interesting, that I was influenced by it on a subconscious level more than I was aware of. So instead of letting me getting influenced by that, I will lean back into doing the things that are happy for me or that make me happy, like creating my videos, and let me be distracted by that instead of giving up on it with the notion that it didn't make any difference if I do a review video or not in the scope of what's going on in the world. It doesn't make a difference. It has no effect because it is just entertainment I'm creating. And what is even the what's it even worth, you know? So that was what is going on with me, and I hope now that I'm realizing that I can get out of that and get back into a state where things are working better with me again. And hopefully that will affect everything from my happiness at work, which hopefully now that the projects are done will also bring in some more interesting projects. Hopefully also a little bit of happiness with me being distracted by the video work I'm doing and all the things that usually distracted me from the craziness in the world. So that is what I try to do for the next month, and hopefully that works out, and we will see in the next video. But let me return to week number 5 and the spider cocoons, because last week I finally had to tackle it, and I was still thinking maybe get everything outside and not just the cocoons, but I took a little chopstick, a wooden chopstick, and I dug a small, unfortunately it was then larger than I thought, hole into the spider's web. I then was just touching it to the cocoons, and fortunately they were that sticky that they were just clinging to my chopstick. That way I could just carrying them outside, put them under a bush on a branch and just stick them there. And that was the end of it. I was still thinking maybe I should also bring the spider outside, but I don't know, you cannot see what a spider thinks, if she is angry, if she doesn't care or whatever. So I just kept her there, and she already filled the hole again in the web, and she is still busy eating all the little bugs, so everything is back to normal. I just hope there is not another cocoon coming along, because there was a second one. I don't know if I mentioned that before. There was already a second one, and the first one was already having some black dots and developed. It was close to, I think they were close to hatching, so it was about time to get them outside. Because, like I said, I'm over my deepest arachnophobia, but just because I think one spider in the bathroom is fine, I don't need to have 30 or up to 200, depending on which source you are reading, how many little spiders might be in that cocoon. So I don't want to have that, so that's the reason why I had to carry it outside. For the next 2 days, I checked on it to see if it is still there, or they are still there, and they were. But last night they vanished. both of them, and one of them was just too far away from hatching, the second cocoon, so I cannot imagine that they all hatched. But maybe because it was quite windy the night before, maybe they were just being blown away, and hopefully they are still somewhere and hatched there. But maybe a bird ate them, I don't know. But I cannot change that, and that was all I could do. I could just hide them, I could bring them out and hide them, and that was the extent if I don't want to have them in my flat, which I don't want to have. So that's about it. And that brings me to today. And today, right now, like I said, I try to make the best out of my realization, trying to figure out what to do to not being bogged down by things that are going on in the world. And I plan to walk more. I already got my bike out and I pumped it up again. So I will also use my bike, which I say each year, and I didn't do the last 2 years, but this year I plan to start actually tomorrow or on Tuesday with a little bit of driving. You know, you cannot just go straight in because there are different muscles than you use for walking. So the first day I will be for sure have sore muscles. So that's that. And so I hope it will be getting better. And with that, let's get to the weight results. And I keep it very short here because I already mentioned that I let myself a little bit go and I didn't pay that much attention, but at least I lost a little bit of weight. Not much, but just like half a pound. So I went down from 257.1 pounds, which is 116.6 kilo, to 256.6 pound, which is 116.4 kilo. Body mass went down from 33.7 to 33.6. For some reason, the body fat went up, even though I walked more over the last few weeks, from 36.3 to 36.7. And of course, then the muscle mass went down a little bit from 28.3 to 28.0. And visceral fat, the internal fat, stayed at 18, which is not a surprise because nothing much changed. So I guess maybe because I walked more this week, maybe the next week my muscle mass will go up again, but we will see. I plan to do more walking, more biking, as I said, so that is on my agenda. I think I'm on a pretty good way now that I realized a lot about myself, and hopefully that will bring me back on track with everything, especially since the last 2 years weren't that successful. But I hope everything you had planned for June was successful and everything came to fruition that you have planned, that you had planned. And the same is true for the next month, for July. I hope everything that you plan for July will be great. I hope that you also switch in and watch my next video that I will post at the beginning of August to cover July. And that's basically it. And as usual, now I just say stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.